Day 1, you stand at the base of a sacred mountain in Japan. Thick fog covers the ancient cedar forest around you. The air is cold, damp, and smells of wet earth. An elder Yamabushi monk walks out of the mist towards you. He carries a bundle of thin, white cotton clothing. He drops the clothes into your hands without saying a word. This is the Shiroshozoku, the clothing of the dead. You put the thin white robe over your bones. It offers zero protection against the freezing mountain wind. The monk points a wooden staff toward a steep stone staircase. There are 2,446 steps to the top. You begin to climb. The stone is slippery with dark green moss. Your bare feet slap against the freezing, jagged rocks. Within 10 minutes, your leg bones are aching intensely. The elder monk walks ahead of you, his pace never changing. He wears split-toe tabi shoes, gripping the wet stone easily. You trip and fall hard against the unforgiving stairs. The impact sends a sharp shockwave through your spine. You drag yourself back up and keep climbing for hours. By late afternoon, you finally reach the temple gates. Your quarters are inside a plain, unheated wooden hall. There is no mattress, no blanket, just the hard floor. You lie down on the planks. The cold wood saps your body heat. You stare at the dark ceiling, unable to sleep. Day 2. At 3 in the morning, a loud wooden clapper wakes you. It is pitch black outside. The temperature is below freezing. You put on a fresh, dry white robe and walk outside. The monk leads you down a narrow dirt trail by flashlight. You hear a violent roaring sound echoing through the trees. It is a massive, freezing mountain waterfall. Today is the day you perform takigyo, waterfall meditation. The monk points to the base of the crashing water. You take off your robe, standing completely bare in the freezing wind. You step into the icy pool. The water cuts like knives. You wade out to the center, right under the drop zone. You step directly under the waterfall. Thousands of pounds of freezing water slam into your skull. The sheer force immediately forces you to your knees. You clasp your hands together, trying to focus on your breathing. The cold paralyzes your chest. You cannot draw a breath. The monk stands on the shore, watching you without blinking. He begins to chant a rhythmic, guttural Buddhist sutra. You stay under the crushing water for 10 straight minutes. Finally, the monk strikes his wooden staff on a rock. You stagger out of the pool. Your bones are pale and numb. You put the damp robe back on. It clings to you like ice. Back at the temple, you are given a single bowl of white rice. There is one sour plum in the center. Nothing else. You eat it slowly. The sourness cuts through your exhaustion. Your next task is to clean the main temple deck. You are handed a massive broom made of rough bamboo branches. The wooden deck surrounds the entire temple and is covered in pine needles. You sweep for 3 hours straight. The rough bamboo tears at the bones of your hands. Day 3. Your stomach is completely empty. The hunger is sharp. The monk hands you a woven basket and a small iron sickle. You must forage for your own food in the bamboo forest. You walk deep into the dense, towering bamboo. The ground is covered in dead leaves and sharp shoots. You dig into the hard dirt with the iron sickle. After an hour of digging, you find a bitter mountain yam. You wipe the dirt off and put it in your basket. You find a few wild ferns and bitter roots. Back at the temple, you wash them in a freezing stone basin. You eat them entirely raw. They taste like dirt and wood. The afternoon is spent chopping firewood for the main hall. The axe is heavy, its iron head rusted and dull. Every swing sends a painful shock up your arms. You chop wood until the sun drops below the mountains. Day 4. Today is the Goma fire ritual. You sit Caesar style on the wooden floor. Your knees scream in pain. The elder monk sits directly in front of the brass fire altar. He strikes a flint, igniting the cedar wood. Flames erupt, illuminating the dark, smoky room. The monk begins to chant at a rapid, hypnotic pace. He beats a large taiko drum with intense rhythm. Boom! Boom! The sound vibrates through your ribs. He hands you small wooden sticks called gomagi. These sticks carry human desires and earthly attachments. You must throw them into the fire to destroy the ego. The fire grows massive, nearly touching the wooden ceiling. Thick, suffocating smoke fills the room completely. Your eyes burn and your empty lungs gasp for air. But you are not allowed to move. You must endure. The ritual lasts for 2 grueling hours. When it ends, your white robe is stained gray with ash. You are completely drained, completely empty. Day 5. The test of fire continues outside. Today is Hiwatari, the fire walking ceremony. You spend hours building a massive pyre of cedar wood. The heat is so intense it physically pushes you back. The monk lets the fire burn down until only red coals remain. He takes a long bamboo pole and flattens the burning embers. The path is 10 feet long, paved with literal fire. The monk steps up to the edge of the blazing path. He does not hesitate. He walks directly over the coals. His face shows absolutely zero pain. Now it is your turn. You take a deep breath and step onto the searing heat. The heat instantly penetrates your bone marrow. Your foot bones turn pitch black from the severe burns. You collapse at the end of the path, shivering in shock. The monk pours a bucket of freezing mountain water over your legs. The sudden temperature change cracks the surface of your bones. You spend the night in agonizing pain, unable to stand. Day 6. You are put into total isolation. There is no food and no water allowed today. You are handed a brush, an inkstone, and a stack of rice paper. Your task is to copy the Hot Sutra exactly. You must do this for 10 straight hours without breaking posture. You begin to grind the solid ink stick into the water. The thick black liquid smells of pine soot and glue. You press the brush against the thin, fragile rice paper. By hour 4, your hand begins to shake violently. A single drop of black ink falls onto the white page. You must throw it away and start completely over. The dehydration makes your mind hallucinate. The kanji characters seem to crawl off the paper like insects. You bite down on your own finger bones to stay awake. By hour 9, the silence in the room becomes deafening. It is a heavy, crushing silence that forces you to face yourself. You finish the final character just as the sun sets. Your vision blurs, and you collapse onto the desk. Day 7, the final ascent. The elder monk wakes you before dawn. He hands you a massive, heavy conch shell, the horror guy. You strap it across your chest and begin the climb. The air grows dangerously thin at this altitude. The path narrows to a ledge only 2 feet wide. A single slip means a 1,000-foot drop. The freezing wind violently rips at your white robe. You crawl the last 100 yards on your hands and knees. You finally reach the summit. There is nothing up here, just wind, rock, and sky. The elder monk arrives and nods at you. He points at the conch shell on your chest. You raise the heavy shell to your teeth. You blow into it with everything you have left. A deep, booming vibration echoes across the entire mountain range. The sound shatters the silence. It announces your survival. In that singular moment, you feel absolutely no pain. You feel no hunger, no cold, no fear. You are completely empty, and it is perfect. The training is over. You descend the mountain. You return to the chaotic, noisy city. Giant neon screens flash advertisements. Sirens scream. The smell of exhaust fumes chokes the air. Everyone is staring at their glowing phones, completely disconnected. You stand in the center of the crowd, wearing modern clothes again. The city has everything to offer. You turn on a faucet, and endless clean water pours out. You drink it, but it tastes completely empty. Your apartment is warm, perfectly climate-controlled, but you realize you have lost your resistance to the cold. The comfort of this world makes you weak. You close your eyes to block out the artificial noise. Instantly, you hear the roaring waterfall again. You smell the burning cedar wood and the thick smoke. The mountain is still inside your bones. It is waiting for you to return.